Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. It is very likely that Trey Murphy III will not remain with the Pelicans, and this gives the Lakers an opportunity to sign him. Trey Murphy has emerged as a star and he would be a perfect fit for the Lakers. The Lakers could potentially pry Trey Murphy away from the Pelicans. The Los Angeles Lakers will surely be looking to make another huge splash this offseason following their league-shattering acquisition of ex-Dallas Mavericks superstar Luka Doncic prior to this season's February 6 trade deadline. With Doncic now preparing for his first full season as a member of the storied organization next to a 40-year-old LeBron James, the Lakers' general manager Rob Pelinka could view now as the perfect time to chase James' ultimate replacement at the small forward position. Pelinka could use this summer to explore the trade market for capable 3 and D wings, preferably one with plenty of potential next to Doncic. Fortunately for Los Angeles, recent reports have indicated that the New Orleans Pelicans may be shopping a rising star that can fit this role to a T in their 24-year-old two-way threat Trey Murphy III. With Zion Williamson's value greatly depreciated and a directive to be in the postseason picture, the Pelicans can afford to stand firm with what one source termed as ridiculous returns for Murphy III, Clutch Point's Chris Dodson wrote Friday afternoon. A serviceable veteran who can log postseason minutes, a decent prospect, and multiple first-round picks is the starting point. Given the number of inquiring calls, it is also indicative of Trey Murphy III's true value, per one source. Several contenders view Trey Murphy III as the missing piece. Rebuilders view him as a foundational talent. As the Lakers will enter the 2025-26 season with championship aspirations and a sense of urgency with regard to building a future contender, Murphy III could become a heavily desired trade target. The Pelicans are asking for a specific return in exchange for their 6'8", lengthy wing, and the Lakers could offer a package of Rui Hachimura, Dalton Knecht and multiple first-round picks to meet their demands. Hachimura has certainly proven to be a calming presence that can contribute right away, and Knecht would serve as their promising prospect addition along with feasible draft compensation. With Murphy III preparing to enter his 5th NBA season, he'll have some high expectations after authoring an incredible campaign in 2024-25. In 53 appearances for the Pelicans this past regular season, the versatile forward averaged a career-best 21.2 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 3.5 assists while knocking down 36.1% of his attempts from three-point range. Murphy III is an underrated athlete with a solid shooting stroke from distance, and his physical attributes could fit in perfectly with the Lakers' small ball ideology under head coach J.J. Redick. By prospectively pairing the rising star next to Doncic and James and giving the team a chance to compete both in the present and future, Pelinka might make a deal of this nature a top priority in the coming months. What does the best-case scenario offseason look like for the Lakers? The Lakers have a big offseason ahead of them, but what does the team look like heading into next season if everything goes according to plan? To call the upcoming offseason for the Lakers critical would be an understatement. While the team is set up for the future with Luka Doncic, there is still a lot of work to be done to get them to a point where winning a title is a realistic possibility. But with tradable picks, mid-sized salaries and an enticing young prospect or two on the roster, the Lakers have the ability to reshape their roster this summer. Still, it feels like there are about as many possible ways this summer can play out as Doctor Strange saw in Infinity War. What does knocking it out of the park look like for the purple and gold, though? As part of a series of articles looking at different ways the summer could play out, starting with the best-case scenario. Say everything goes right for the Lakers this summer. What does the roster look like heading into the season? Underscore 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 underscore. The offseason will start with the draft, but it feels unlikely that the number 55 pick will factor much into viewing the offseason as a home run or a whiff. Ideally, the Lakers are able to find a good, young player, preferably a center, who can play some rotation minutes from the jump. But finding those prospects that late in the draft is very rare, so it's not something you can really count on. The best-case scenario, then, might be packaging that pick with money to jump higher into the second round to land a player that can be impactful right away. It's significantly easier to find a player who can get rotation minutes at pick number 35 than pick number 55. The focus then turns to in-house free agency, where the Lakers have a couple of decisions to make. Chief among them will be Dorian Finney-Smith, who has a player option for next season. In a best-case scenario, DFS opts out and agrees to a deal worth more money on a lower annual salary. If the Lakers can get him to re-sign from anywhere between $10 million and $13 million, that feels like a win. Something like a 2-year, $22 million deal would be great value. The only other in-house free agency decisions involve minimum contracts with Markieff Morris, Alex Len, and Jackson Hayes. Len might not even be in the league next season, so he definitely shouldn't be on the Lakers. Hayes, meanwhile, clearly doesn't have the trust of the coaching staff and is best finding a spot elsewhere next season. Keefe, though, makes sense to bring back next season as a veteran voice. The players respect him and using your 15th roster spot on him is a worthwhile investment. Underscore 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 underscore. Now, the focus shifts to out-of-house, both in terms of free agency and trades. The obvious objective is going to be acquire multiple centers, considering none are on the roster. In an ideal scenario, the Lakers land a young, starting caliber, lob-catching, rim-protecting center. So nothing major, really. While every player has their strengths and weaknesses, the two names that check the most of those boxes are Daniel Gafford and Nick Claxton. Either one fits the bill and would be a great fit with Luka moving forward. Both, though, would cost the Lakers most of their assets as it's nearly impossible to imagine a trade for them doesn't include both Dalton Knecht and a first-round pick. If you want to argue in an ideal offseason, they're able to hang on to one of either Knecht or a first, you could, but that feels like crossing over from best case into unrealistic. Instead, the Lakers could also look in those trades to add a young, athletic wing as well. Now, neither Brooklyn nor Dallas is full of them, but could you nab a Derek Whitehead or Keon Johnson from the Nets or even a Jaden Hardy or Caleb Martin from the Mavs? While they aren't fully problem solvers themselves, they do help address weaknesses from last season, whether that's defense or athleticism. The Reggie Miller-Michael Jordan battle needs a rewind. Underscore 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 underscore. Now, to land a backup center, the Lakers could use their taxpayer mid-level exception, TPMLE. Again, you could argue that in an ideal scenario, LeBron James takes a pay cut, as he was open to last year, and the Lakers have the full mid-level exception. However, I think his willingness to do that last year had as much to do with the player they were targeting in Klay Thompson as it did anything. And that type of player isn't on the free agent market this year, nor has LeBron reportedly expressed a willingness to do that this summer. The two players I think are the best fits for the TPMLE would be Steven Adams and Clint Capella. With Capella, you get another lob-catching center that gives you the ability to play the same style of basketball no matter which big man is on the floor. Adams, meanwhile, offers a changeup. What he lacks in his ability to catch lobs he makes up for with his terrific screen setting, physical presence, and offensive rebounding ability. He proved with the Rockets that he could be a reliable big man still in the league and, as a backup, he makes sense. The last move of an idea offseason would be to look to move some of the mid-sized contracts the Lakers have and try to land more impactful players. For example, if the Indiana Pacers, a team that does not venture into the luxury tax, are looking to either lessen that luxury tax payment or avoid it altogether, could you trade for a player like Obi Toppin? A swap built around Jared Vanderbilt and Toppin would save the Pacers $2.5 million in straight salaries, let alone luxury tax payments. Other picks or young players would need to be added to that from the Lakers' side, but that's the type of deal you could look to make to improve on the margins as well. Similarly, could you turn Gabe Vincent into a guard who is a better fit? Is that a more consistent scoring threat like a Jordan Clarkson? Is that taking a risk on a higher ceiling player like Lonzo Ball? Is that looking for a player perhaps miscast in their current role like a Moses Moody? Now, there's a real possibility the Lakers don't have both Vondo and Vincent to try to upgrade on, as one or both would be in a trade for Claxton or Gafford, but you get the gist of looking to upgrade their spot. Between those two and Maxi Kleber, the Lakers should have at least one player they could look to trade. Part of the problem you'll run into while doing that, though, would be a lack of assets, namely in second-round picks. Perhaps in a trade with the Nets or Mavs for that center of the future, you look to acquire a couple of extra second-round picks that you can then, in turn, use in trades of players like Vincent or Vondo to upgrade their spot. Underscore 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 underscore. What the roster exactly looks like is uncertain since I laid out a number of scenarios and, as I said, an ideal player for one person is not the same for another. Our best case scenario may not be the same as President of Basketball Operations Rob Pelinka's either. But if the Lakers can head into next season with their center of the future, a legitimate backup option behind him and upgrades on the edges of the rotation, so the same 5 players don't play the entire second half of a game, then it'll feel like they've had a terrific summer. Lakers predicted to pursue $45.9 million former NBA rebounding leader. Entering the offseason, the Los Angeles Lakers have their sights set on addressing a glaring need at the center position. After a playoff exit against the Minnesota Timberwolves exposed their lack of interior size, President of Basketball Operations Rob Pelinka should be exploring free agency options to strengthen the frontcourt alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James. One name generating buzz is a veteran big man whose skill set could complement the Lakers' star-heavy roster, offering a mix of defensive reliability and pick-and-roll prowess at a potentially bargain price. Sam Quinn of CBS Sports recently highlighted this player as a realistic target for LA, noting the pros and cons of acquiring him. Pros: the quintessential rim protector and rim runner, Quinn wrote. Until last season, he hovered around the top 10 in the NBA in dunks every year. He's been a consistently good defender, but just as importantly, he's been a fairly versatile one, capable of protecting the basket but also hanging on the perimeter when switches have forced him to. One of the few players ever to lead the NBA in offensive rebounding rate and defensive rebounding rate in a single season. He's been an obvious Doncic fit for years. Dallas tried to trade for him in 2023. He's probably gettable for the taxpayer mid-level exception. Cons: he's 31 and slipping on just about every front, Quinn continued. He played backup minutes last season, but his per-possession stats have all slipped from his peak. He's a good rim protector now, not a great one. He's lost a bit of the athleticism that meant so much as a lob finisher. He's no longer an elite rebounder on either end. Only a 54.4% career free throw shooter. He probably has to be a backup at this stage of his career, which is why he's gettable at the tax mid-level at all. This player is Clint Capella, the 31-year-old Atlanta Hawks center set to hit unrestricted free agency in July. Capella's resume includes a standout 2021-22 season where he led the NBA in rebounding, averaging 14.3 rebounds per game, and his 61.7% career field goal percentage ranks highly in NBA history. Despite his decline from peak form, evidenced by 2024-25 averages of 8.9 points and 8.5 rebounds in 21.4 minutes per game, Capella remains a reliable defender. His 1.5 blocks per game in 2023-24 ranked 12th in the league, and his experience in high-stakes playoff runs with the Hawks and Houston Rockets adds value. The Lakers' cap constraints make Capela's projected price tag appealing, though he may command slightly more elsewhere. While not the elite force he once was, Capela's fit with Doncic and defensive reliability make him a practical target. As Pelinka navigates a competitive free agency landscape, Capela could be the low-cost addition the Lakers settle on.